Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the stream. It's Thursday, it's sunny, not even overcast, and we're back in the kitchen. Thermal Thursday, and I don't know, we got to think up something for that. Thermal Thursday. So, today, what are we doing? Today we are cooking lasagna. Kind of my recipe, but I don't know if you can call lasagna anyone's recipe per se. Seeing it is a more traditional meal. It's been tweaked, it's been twerked, it's been flossed, it's been one of everything has happened to it over time. So this is my version of it, and we'll see how that goes. I put a lot of cheese in mine, so what do we got? We got 1.5 kilos, a little over 1.5 kilos of cheese that we're going to put in this. So what are we are today? Today is Thursday. We are doing this. Tomorrow is Freak Out Friday. So we'll be playing some Lost Alone 3. Lost Alone 3. Finally finishing off that. We'll then... We've got some other things. Then I've got a whole weekend of Crown with the SCA. And then, so I think it's the weekend after that, we'll be doing the gigantic stream for 200 followers and first year Twitch anniversary. So we will be doing Assassin's Creed 1 and going for up to 31 hours, depending on how people go. Today, as usual, we'll be playing the Twitch safe, royalty free, no copyright music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. So have a check out of White Bat Audio on YouTube, and you can use those too. What else have we got? We got tonight. Ooh, yesterday, huge day. I'm suffering for it today, I tell you. But tonight we are cooking the stone for the next iron ore smelt, which will be happening on Saturday the 8th of October. We will be streaming that. We won't be streaming tonight, but we will be streaming the smelt on the 8th. Or just stretching out the sciatic nerve. That's fun. That was not intentional. So yeah, tonight we'll be cooking some stone. I'm not planning on streaming it. We'll see what popular consensus is. The lasagna, however, I am planning on serving tonight as part of, if people want to eat something, they can order pizza, they can order whatever they want, or they can have some of this lasagna. So there we go, full circle, back to lasagna. As always, remember with your ingredients, buy the best ingredients you can and don't mess it up. So I just thought, what I mean by that is you put in, if you buy really good ingredients, let's say this is your cooking scale, right? From horrid to awesome. Nah, you get this much leeway. The better ingredients, let's say you buy top of the range, beautiful ingredients, you get this much leeway, right? If you get crappy ingredients, cheap, old, about to die, already have died, then your margin for error goes like this. It gets smaller. And the more ingredients, the better ingredients you add, the bigger your margin of error gets. So, buy the best you can afford. I've got some cheap ingredients here. I've got some not so cheap. We'll go through that as we're cooking away. And that's it. That's how it all begins. So, with only a little bit more ado, a wild centret. Well, with a little bit of ado, we're going to pause to catch a Pokemon. Cat. Yes, I can spell. All right, we should probably get some bars. Hey, I even got this. I even got the right. So, pan. So, cooking implements. Before I start filling this up with things, thick base. Right, thick base pans are the shiz. I used to really hate cooking, and part of that was crappy implements. Because part of what we're going to do today is we are going to leave that full of the sauce to simmer for around an hour while we do other things. This I can leave this pan, I can leave to simmer for an hour, and I don't have to touch it. And I will, because but I don't have to. I can leave that, and I can take it out, and nothing will be burnt to the bottom. It won't be, won't be burnt. I don't have to stand there for the hours stirring and stirring and stirring, so that doesn't happen. Again, this is something that this sort of equipment is something that I've only recently, well, over the last while, have been putting together. And again, it makes the cooking experience so much better. I mean, they're not cheap. Hey, I caught Centric. They're not cheap, which is why I've been doing it over time. But yeah. So also, as you can see, we're using gas. Actually, what I should do is I should start cooking, shouldn't I? Instead of just gas bagging. So let's turn the music on. I just love the dark industrial mix. It's good to cook along to. So, yep, okay, that's all good. So what we're going to do is, first we're going to get the veg and we're going to saute it. So we have some carrots. It says, the recipe calls for large carrots. Oops, wrong one. So, I tend to get a little grumpy. No, really? I tend to get a little grumpy with recipes that have, use a large carrot or a large onion. It's like, frig is large. But I kind of, these days, I've kind of getting it into my head, trying to get it into my head, that it kind of means season to taste. So you, just means you put in as much or as little as you like. If you're not a massive fan of carrots, put in a couple of carrots, put in a couple of little ones, what you would consider little ones. If you really love carrot, put in 3 ginormo ones. And that makes me feel better. It makes me feel better about the whole experience of doing the cooking thing of large carrots and stuff like that. So, whoops, missed that one. Alright, so what we're going to do is, at the moment, we are simply dicing up the carrot. We'll do that with the onion and a couple of stalks of celery as well. Once we get it, I need a bowl to put all this in. Bowl, yeah, bowl. Oh, let's use one of those. There we go. Alright, so yeah, dicing up the carrots. Eventually, I'm going to get off my butt and get another camera so that you can actually watch me doing all of this. But I haven't yet. at the moment I am saving up to leave you all. Saving up to go away to help build another Earthship. So yeah, we'll get there. Whoop. My thumb got a bit close there. No thumb. Right, so the carrots had in the fridge forever. They're generic carrots from generic source. The celery, pretty much the same. It is generic celery from a generic source. So we're using 2 large carrots, we're using 2 stalks of celery. Meow. It's not the way you should wrap it up, probably. Now, as always with your leftover bits and bobs, they're all compostable. So you might think, you know, I don't compost, I don't create soil to put in the garden. But that's cool. So not everyone has the space to do that. I'm lucky, I do. So if you don't, think about, well, I should probably give these a rinse, hang on. For example, our council has days where they will take organic matter for free, and you just take it in, you dump it, and be done with it. Celery's meant to taste like nothing. I don't know, but I do enjoy the texture of it. So, in places where you have green bins, like here, we can put food stuff in our green bins, and that all gets composted down, and all the composting gets done for you. In that case. That said, if you don't have green bins, then, well, if you don't have a green bin that your food scraps can go into, and you don't have, and you don't compost, well, not a lot you can do with that. Except bug your council. There you go, bug your council. See, and tell them that you want green bins and you want composting and you want all of that to be able to be done. Yeehaw. Right, so same with celery, just dicing that up. There, lost a bit. It'll be fine. Pretty sure this is called a mirepoix, because we're using the three base bits, being celery, carrot, and onion. You use this in a lot of cooking. So, I bought the composting tub over so that I could just, not go back and forth. And the first thing I do is chuck the onion skin into the veggies that we've already diced up. So, SMRT. We should have cut these ends off first, but oh well. Yeah, that's fine. Now, some people, not me, have a fair bit of trouble with crying and onions, because onions make you cry. So there is a trick that I learned a while back that seems to work, at least for me, and that is, once you've peeled them, run them under the tap. Just cold water, just run them under the tap for a little bit, a couple of seconds, and I have found that when I'm using onions that are making me particularly weepy, that takes a lot of the weepiness out of it. Don't know why. There's probably some science behind it, but I don't know what that science is. Right, so as we do this, most of these are going to break down and you're going to lose, like they're not going to become individual flavors per se, but they're nice to have in there, they're good for you. So when you're cutting up your onions, or your carrots or your celery or whatever, when you're cutting it up, it's, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out which way I'm cutting it. So the way I do this, you can see there that the onion basically runs that way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it that way first, and then I'm going to cut it that way, and that auto dices it basically. It's the way that I find works best. Cut with a knife, not hack with a knife. I should know better. Whoop. There's some crappy skin, we'll take that off. Alright, so we'll see. These are organic onions. Now, so I've cut, let's see if I can do this. Woohoo! So I've cut it that way. Now I'm going to cut it along. So yeah, these are just from my local supermarket, but they're from the organic section, these onions. So you can see, doing that, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but look. No, you can't. Alright, well what that does is it basically auto dices them and doesn't fall apart until you're ready for it to fall apart, which is nice. So yeah, these ones are organic, just from the local supermarket. Now, this is consumerism, but again, compared to the regular onions that you can get just from the shop, these are more expensive. No two ways about it. That said, they're generally not full of chemical herbicides, pesticides, and any other asides that you can think of. And where we spend our money is, in a lot of respects, it's our last true vote, right? And this actually happened with free-range chickens. So the whole idea was to get better eggs, get better chickens, you know, free range. Healthier, happier animals, healthier, happier food. And when free range eggs first came out, they were way more expensive than regular eggs. And look, I haven't checked lately what regular eggs are worth because I just don't buy them anymore. But they were on a factor of about three times more expensive than regular eggs were in the beginning. Now, they're not that anymore. And that's because enough people bought them that enough people bought them that they were able to become competitively priced. So, something to think about when you start filling your shopping cart. I don't have my tea towel. Where did I put my tea towel? Where's my tea towel? I'm misplacing everything today. I've misplaced my bandana, I've misplaced my tea towel. Poof, gone. Alright, whoops, almost missed the circuit. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to saute. We're using all the good words. Mirepoix sauté. There are cooks watching this going, for God's sake, Ulrich. So, boing. Cooking oil. Just going to put a little bit of oil in the pan because I like to. There's no real reason to or not to. I find it gives the veggies a nice coating, lets them slide around the pan easier. Morning Kiki, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. There it is. Yeah, it's going well. We've not been going long, just starting off. We've chopped some veg, and now we're about to saute it. I've decided we're making lasagna today. And how are you going today? Getting excited for the change of work? That's happening on Monday, isn't it? Pew, pew, pew. I'm so excited. Excellent. But I have no car parking pass. No. Well, there's still free parking at Tea Tree Plaza, and that's just across the road, so... So far, there's still free parking. I think it's the owners of Tea Tree Plaza are trying to make... How will you get fined if you park there? As far as I know, no one bloody goes around checking, oh, does this car belong to a nurse? hell? Go move your car at lunchtime? I just cannot figure out how they would have known that, you know, this is a car that needs to be fined. Oops. I can do it. Okay. Full-time office hours will be nice. So I don't know if you were, I think you might have been on a BRB, but are you working, I know you start at 8, but are you going till 5, 4? Is it like 8 till 4? Oh yeah. Instead of 9 to 5, 8 till 4. See, I like that little bit of change, because you get up that little bit earlier, but you miss so much of the peak hour traffic, and then you knock off just before peak hour traffic really starts. Yeah, I do enjoy that. Oh, you're not told yet. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Now I can't hear the music. Volume. There we go, that's better. Right, so what I'm aiming for here is just to get a little bit of colour, a little bit of colour onto the veg in their own right, soften them up a bit. We are making my take on lasagna, Kiki. This saucepan is going to be very full. Right, so the onions are getting that little bit of gold on them. The celery's just starting, you can, yep, celery's just starting to soften up. I can put this nice blunt plastic implement just straight through it, which means it's softening up nicely, so it's ready. The one I was telling you about, more than likely, the one with, you know, nearly 2 kilos of cheese in it, yes. Now, for now, we just put that back in the bowl from whence it came. We get as much of that back in the bowl as we can. Now, I've just cleaned off the pan because, and it's not strictly, you don't strictly need to, but I find that swapping between the veg and the meat, which is what we're doing now, if if you leave vegetables in there, then they will burn. So now what we're using here is just the local Foodland's meaty goodness, because I only decided last night that lasagna was the thing that I was going to cook. I had so much on like yesterday. So I've only just decided. So we're doing that. And this is a beef, pork and veal mix that we are trying to get out of the packet. So now these have absorbent paper in the bottom of them. So when you go to throw them in the pot, bit more oil. So when you go to throw them in the pot, you want to be aware that you have that piece of paper on the bottom of it. Ta-da! Yeah, I've never actually, to my knowledge, never actually tried lactose-free cheese, so I have no idea how that would work. Don't know how it tastes, don't know how it works. So now we are just going to brown off all of this mince. For the record, 1.5 kilos. Yeah. Ooh, an amungus. Quick, catch an amungus. Half yelling, okay, catch. So you'll notice every now and then I'm just adjusting the temperature on the pan, and that's sometimes I want it to heat up a bit quicker, sometimes it's heating up a bit much. So I'm just tweaking it. There's no real rigged. There's no real sort of like set it to high, set the pan to high, set the pan to low, simmer. It's just tweak the temperature, see how it goes. Oh, Kiki's Fairy Princess was naughty. Alright, what did Fairy Princess do? Growled and bit my mother-in-law. Okay, so why? That's my first question, is why? Because when a dog does something like that, you know, when a dog's growly, gets maybe a little bit nippy, you've done something to the dog. Puppy stole Texters, and when mother-in-law asked for it back, puppy ran away with it, and mum tried to retrieve it, and she got bitten. Ah. So, my toy, you can't have it. Right. Now, did she actually get bitten, or was it just one of those little love nips? I guess basically it's, is she bleeding? I'm just naturally on the side of animals. What can I say? Alright, so you can see now that pretty much all the pink's gone. Now there's still a fair bit of fluid from the meat, or in the meat right now. And that doesn't matter, because we're going to leave it, so we're going to put more fluid in anyway. And most of that will evaporate off as we cook, so we don't want to particularly overcook this. So I go to where you might see a bit of pink here or there. But yeah, so that's pretty good for me. Didn't bleed, but it was a nasty nip. Okay, so she wasn't serious about it. Because when a dog bites you proper, yeah. Right, well, I hope she slapped the puppy on the nose. Gave it a bit of discipline. Ugh, I mean, seriously, lick the bowl, people. Right. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a talk about this later, but today we are using Battle of Bosworth Puritan Shiraz from for the wine. We want a cup of red wine. Oops, that's not a cup. Where's my cup measure? Okay. Couldn't find my cup measure. Alright, so we want 1 cup of red wine. Are we watching? Are we watching? One cup. It's not a glass. Not a little glass. It's a cup. So you can see, that's a cup. 1 cup. But more on this wine later. How you doing, Rach? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I'm going well. Oh, look at that purpley goodness. Oh, the purpley goodness. We've just added the red wine to the lasagna. Yeah, I had a massive day yesterday, so I'm paying for it, but I'm having fun, so that means it's worth it, right? Right, so what I want to do now is we've added the red wine, so we are going to bring that to the boil as we make sure all of the meat gets a really good coating of it. We add even more ingredients. Rach, I slept funny and my neck is a bit jinky today, but apart from that, good. Excellent. Okay, I should stop playing with this. See, this is me stopping playing with it. Fine, I'll stop playing with it. Right, so, oh look, that's a, God, I love this pan. It's already pretty much come to the boil. Lick the bowl. Stupid jinky neck. Right, so that is bubbling away nicely all over the place. Can you see that that's bubbling away? You can see it bubbling away. Excellent. This is what I love about thick base pans. That, just, yeah. So now we are going to add Tomato paste. I went down, like I said, I decided to do lasagna at Dark 100 last night. So I went down, just got the Legos. See, right, when you say Lego, right, it's Lego. That is Legos. Now we throw the paste in. I have been known to make my own tomato paste, but currently it is not the season for that. Right, that's boiling a bit fast, so let's turn it down. The boil is getting ahead of me. Yeah. Tomato. All right. Now we're just mixing in the tomato paste, getting a nice covering of that over everything. Generally, when I go for a nice covering, I try to make whatever it is all the same color, right? So at the moment, you can see like over here, there's like nice red spots here and here, but over here there's gray spots, and so what I'm trying to do is bring it all together so that it looks the same color, and that means that it's all got a nice coating on. So if you know there's a bit that's a bit darker or a bit lighter, just keep stirring until that goes away. But yes, usually tomato paste I make, because tomato paste takes up a shit ton of tomatoes. This is basically dehydrated passata. So, made it out of cherry tomatoes one year. Oh my god, it was so nice. Ooh, look at that. That's just turned into gravy. Can you see that sort of in there? It's just turned into gravy. Oh, cuddles all round. Rich, I love lasagna so much, but I hate the washing up of 9 million bowls pops. Well, okay, but so far we're up to 2. We're most of the way into the sauce. Oh no, and we've got a chopping board as well. So, we'll see how many. There's at least a grater, a couple more bowls. We'll see what we get at the end of it. That'll be interesting. My sister and I learned that wet mixtures designed for dried noodle sheets make an interesting result when used with fresh noodles. Ah, yes, right. Yeah, it does. Good Lord, look at this. Oh, no. Look at the colour in that. If that's burnt, we're going to nick off because I've licked it. Right. We should just eat that. Alright. heap of concentrate in it. We put 240 grams of tomato concentrate in this thing. And there's just the slightest little delicate hint of the tomato in there. It's just like, oh my God. And the red wine. We'll get on to the red wine. But first, we need to add the veg. Pile of veg. It kind of results in sort of chunky lasagna soup. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So, oh. God, that looks awesome. All right. This stuff is jelly. To Ulrich's place. Casa de Ulrich. So, these jelly-like substances are bone broth. Jelly. It's literal jelly. This is the last of the batch, which I'm both sad and happy about. Sad because it's the last of the batch. Happy because I get to make more. Sis knocking on the door with forks in hand. So this Jello loveliness. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this is jelly. So this is bone broth. Now, bone broth is more than stock. So give me a sec. I'm just going to thaw this a bit more. So the stock, you put your bones and your whatever and your veggies and all that, you put it into the water, you boil it for a couple of hours, and you're done. Whereas with bone broth, you put in a bit of, we use apple cider vinegar, put in a bit of that, and you boil it for 2 days. No, you boil it for beef anyway. You boil that for, I generally go for 12 to 16 hours, right? This is so jelly. Look, wobbly, wobbly jelly. Alright, so that goes in. Still on two, but one bowl. And what the vinegar does what vinegar does is it denatures the bones that you put into the broth. So you get actual, bony nutrients and goodness, not just flavor. And it comes out this brilliant jelly. And I've had like shin bones and just hip bones and whatever, but you pick them up with the tongs and they crumple. These are cow bones. They actually crumple under the pressure of tongs. Oh, Kiki's on the lurk. Alright, thank you for the lurk, Kiki. So yes. Now, if you want to do like a quick noodles like ramen or even 2-minute noodles, whatever you're doing, cook them up with bone broth. Holy crom! You're just full, instantly full, and it's not that expensive. So now you can see I'm just melting all that bone broth in. And then, once that's nice and full, there's 4 cups of that went in, by the way. The packages, when I store these, as you saw, I put them in Glad bags. Now, it's a one-use plastic, so it's not that eco. But where I trade off on that is I freeze the bags flat, and then I store them upright. So you're literally sorting through it like a card system. Like chicken, pork, beef. Yep. Yeah, we did that in school with an egg in a beaker full of vinegar. Oh yeah, the egg, and it just denatures the outside of the egg. Yeah. So when that goes into your bone broth, adds the extra goodness and makes you extra full. So there are still bits of the bone broth that haven't melted yet, but we'll get to that. You can see we've got just enough in there. I've done this a few times. So with all the ingredients, we've worked out that 4 cups of bone broth will get it just to that nice point where you've got everything under fluid. And this is why I say that if you've got that fluid on the, if you've got the fluid just coming out of the mince as you cook it, doesn't matter, because I'm going to flood the whole thing anyway. Stop trying to escape. No escape. I think I'm going to need to find my Darylin. Alrighty. And now we bring that up to the simmer. Once that's up to the simmer, talk about some ingredients. I'm going to take the plastic bag away. Who knew having a plastic bag, next to fire was a bad thing? Right. Turn that up, turn that on. And now we chuck it on the back burner. Literally chucking it on the back burner. Oof. I have silicone zip bags. Ooh. They weren't very expensive, from probably Kmart if you're interested in switching away from the single-use ones. Yes, I would be very interested in switching away from the single-use ones. Silicone zip bags. All right, I'm going to have to look that up. Someone remind me, because I can't find a pen. Pen! Silicone zip bag. All right. I will definitely look into them. Thanks, Rach. Look, Kenobi. Rachel felt a great disturbance in the stream, as if a million voices cried out and was suddenly silenced, and was suddenly lurking. Lurk, lurk. Alright, so how you going? And we'll leave that up. Alright, so, ingredients. As I said, get the best you can. Don't mess it up. Now, here's the thing. Talking about our wine. I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of people when they're cooking use crappy wine and then serve up this, look, here's this wine. It's like, why would you put crappy wine in your food and then serve up good wine as the meal? It's like, why would you do that? So, that said, let's see if we can get into the cupboard. There we go. Uh-oh. Nah, didn't mess it up. Alright, so this is the Battle of Bodworth Puritan Shiraz 2021 from McLaren Vale. Schnob. So, I don't usually do red wine. It's not my thing. But we're going to have a little taste because 11:10. All right, so we'll say an hour. Sorry, I'm just going to set a timer on the simmer. Oh, Gilbert. Right, timer's on. So, posh posh, wine, knob. Right, so what is it? This one is a Shiraz. Tastes like red wine. Now, seriously though, Battle of Bosworth is an organic wine company. Again, organic. Usually on a lot of their bottles, it is on this, so you can see the little yellow flowers, sour sobs. Because what they did is they, I don't know if they figured out, anyway, so what they do is instead of using herbicides to keep the weeds down around the vines, they let the sour sobs grow. Then the sour sobs just kill everything else. They don't do any harm to the vines, the grapevines, and therefore they don't have to use herbicides to keep the grass down or anything like that. So that's part of what makes these guys organic. But that's why they have the symbol of the sour salt. So I am reliably informed that wines are judged out of 100 by a team of, people that judge wines and all of that. So this one, the Puritan, got 96 points out of 100 from the wine snobs. Now, and I just put a cup of that into the sauce. So, as part of the lasagna. And you can taste that, right? You can taste this. Oh, dribble. You can taste this wine in that food. So, when if I was going to serve this with wine, obviously, I put the wine that I'm going to serve it with into the food. So, if you're a wine snob and you'd be embarrassed to serve the wine that went into your food, don't put it in your food. Wait, here we go. It is, it's grown in the McLaren Vale, certified organic since 95, yum, yum, yum. Yes, it's a bright, fresh Shiraz. It spent no time in oak. Definitely taste that. And bottled without the addition of preservatives. Yes. Nom, nom, nom. So yeah, if you didn't figure that out, I'm reading the blurb off the back label. But yeah, like when we had a taste of that before, oh, that's a bit much. Turn you down, back to a simmer. Give it a bit of a stir. Whoop. Almost went over the edge. See, this is what I get for gas bagging. Right, so we don't want that boiling, we just want that simmering. It's just a light simmer. One of the best ways to get heat out of it, stir it. Right. Now I've got just a couple of little bubbles coming up, and that's exactly where we want it. Your Brian Blessed sommelier impression was wonderful. Good morning. G'day Autumn, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. We are making lasagna, my variant of lasagna. I claim no authenticity whatsoever in this meal, so we're not going to piss off any Italian mamas. Because I tell you, pissing off Italian mamas is not the place you want to be. Or nonnas. Mamas or nonnas. Just no. I want to be on the good side of them. Right, so. Now, going to add, now that we've got that on simmer, we're going to add some salt and pepper. This is purely subjective, this part. Now, believe it or not, I added about the same amount of salt and pepper there. But my pepper grinder doesn't grind quite as well as the salt grinder does. So, Kiki, Italian nonnas scare me. If you're on their bad side. As an ex-Italian aged care worker, I can speak from experience. Yeah. See, Italian nonnas tend to like me because I'm a good eater. So yeah, salt and pepper. When we tend to season food, and this is something I didn't understand for a very long time. When we season food at the end, you know, it's served on the table, you add some salt and pepper. You really get that salt and pepper taste like top of your palate, top of the food. You get a lot of buck, a lot of bang for a very little buck. But putting it into food on this scale, right? Because this is going to end up with probably around 12 to 14 serves. Is what we're cooking, and I'm talking decent serves here too. Ooh, send me some pics in Discord. Nice, Rich. So, you think of the amount of salt and pepper I put in there divided over 14 meals, and all of a sudden, that's not a lot. So I like to put a bit in, just to get a bit of flavor in there. But predominantly, I don't like. I love salt. I love salt. And all right, okay. I'm going to do this. All right, we have the cray-cray. We have the cray-cray. So this, can you see that? This is, this is foraged well, I didn't, but hand foraged by my partner, and then dehydrated, and then crushed and flaked porcini mushroom. So there we go. And that's really all you need. A teaspoon porcini mushrooms. So I've been asked special to throw some of that in. So that is not my normal. This is by special request for porcini mushrooms. So it is now in there. There's no going back. We'll see what that does to the flavor profile. Right, we'll let that simmer. So I'm leaving it simmer for about an hour. But the longer you leave that simmering, the better. It really is. The longer you leave it simmer, it'll just nom nom nom. What are we up to? Ooh, Discord, yay. Ooh, Rach has returned with cornflakes. We're doing gourmet lasagna with cornflakes. Yes, I love it. Kiki, what's the worst cooking show ever yesterday just for my own amusement? Paris Hilton Cooks. Yeah, on my pancreas? Yeah. Coffee hydrate. I'm not sure I want to watch Paris Hilton cook, because my money is on full makeup, designer clothing, high heels, running around the floor. Right. So let's see how this is going. We'll put some porcini in it. Not a lot of porcini bite to it, a little bit, so that's not bad. So, as part of the experiment, we've put in 1 teaspoon of porcini mushrooms for this one. We might do a bit more for the next one, we'll see. You're correct. Yeah, okay, right, Kiki. Kim Kardashian is a mum now and can cook, but was highly amusing how annoying she is. Never again. Didn't she end up having a surrogate mum for her baby? I heard somewhere, dude, ridiculous, that I heard that she decided she didn't want to ruin her body with a baby, so she paid some other lady to get impregnated for her. I don't know if that's true or not, but too much money right there. Just tax the shit out of that, and give us free education. Alright, so now we can start. Might give this a rinse. Yeah, way too much money, way not enough sense. Tax the crap out of them. Alright. So I can feel the bottom of that pan, right? As I'm stirring. There's nothing. That's just metal. There's no build up there. There's nothing. Even now, like I've had this pan for years, and even now, just doing that and just going, there is no crusty bits on the bottom of this pan. It was just like, I'm so happy with that. Turn it down a little bit more because it was getting a little too bubbly for my liking. So, cheese grommet. All right, so we are using the Cheer Tasty Random Tasty Cheese. Not very expensive, but I like the flavour, so we're using that. We're also using the Levira mozzarella. Now, I found out today that this is actually made locally in South Australia. It's made, I can't remember the suburb, but just around the corner. So in Australian speak, that means, 15-minute drive. However, this stuff is made from non-animal rennet. So I looked that up, and it turns out you can make rennet to make cheese out of stuff like figs and thistles and all sorts of other stuff instead of using an animal product it's from the stomach of animals, basically. Goats and a couple of others. It's an enzyme, but you can make it without using animal products. So I like that. And I only found this out today. Like I was years old when I found this out. So I will now be looking for non-animal rennet cheeses as much as I can. Because I love that idea. I love that milking animals and such. Okay, with the dairy industry, there are things we can make it better. No argument there. But at the end of the day, if you can use milk with a plant-based rennet, then less animal harm. Simple as that. I like eating meat. I love meat, but I like happy meat. The other cheese we're using, is Parmigiano Reggiano. Probably just butchered that accent. However, I want to have a talk about this one too, because there are lots of different types of Parmesan cheese, but they've recently I discovered that they have gone champagne with it, and to make proper Parmesan cheese, there is a certain area in Italy where, and it's got to do with the type of grass that the type of cow eats creates a certain milk, and this grass only grows in a certain part of Italy, and then so much cheese, all of which makes me fart. Fair, Kiki, fair. Oh, we have a farm up the road that's fully sustainable animal products. Nice rage. All right, I'm going to do the poker catch. Here we go. I'm going to pause on the cheese and talk about poker catching. No. All right, so the grass, the cows, the area, this is where you get proper Parmesan from. So they have a mark. They have a maker's mark. I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully it's a bit fuzzy because I took it with my shaky hands. But that is the label you're looking for. It's backwards, I know, but so if it's got that label, it's proper Parmesan, made traditional methods with the right cows, the right grass, the right milk, the right everything. And that is, shut down half of the stuff on my phone because it's burning battery. And this is the proper stuff. Now, if you're buying it in the big wheels, it'll have that brandy thing in it. But on something this small, you won't see the brand. So that's what you're looking for. So if you want proper Parmesan from proper Italy, parts from Italy, that's the brand you're looking for. That's the little logo that you're looking for. Rates like their pride is they use as much of the animal as possible, so the rennet comes from a goat that is also meat broth, etc., etc. Yes. Yeah. I mean, because it comes from the stomachs of the animals, so you're gonna kill it to get it. But yeah, friend of mine was a pig farmer, and all organic, sustainable, the whole lot. And his slogan was use everything but the oink. And he did. He would use everything but the oink. It was awesome. Rex, they're not off grid and don't have accommodation, but when you were talking about your long-term setup plan, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, if I'm gonna eat an animal, I want to use as much of that animal as humanly possible. Before, you know, they're going to have a good life, they're going to have a happy life, and the plan is to have egg-laying birds, like ducks and chickens, but of the egg layers, once they finish their productivity, they get to just go over there and live. That they get to continue living. Obviously, the birds that I breed for meat, I'm going to eat, but... Alright, so, yep, that's simmering away nicely. So now we're going to start the white sauce. The bechamel. Which a lot of people are afraid of. And for a while there, I was one of them. But you've basically just got to pay attention to it. If you're paying attention to it, you're going to be fine. You know, for someone like me or Mackie, that'd be difficult because we're always just, you know, hanging around on chat and, you know, getting distracted by chat. All right. So, grating of cheese. Fairly self-explanatory. Great. Let's talk about Nestle. Yeah, no, Kiki, let's not talk about Nestle because Nestle are evil. Right, we used to get their eggs and the carton has all the chicken names on. These eggs are from. Nice. I like it when chickens get to retire after years of faithful service to their Lord. Absolutely, Warden. Absolutely. And that's the point. You know what? It's not just, oh, you've served your function, you know, die. That's what got us into this mess in the first place, was that sort of attitude. Right, excuse me for a moment. Just have the sniffles. Rage, I don't believe that clean drinking water is a basic human right to you. Well, as Nestle, no, I. Sorry, I'll stop now, but just to say, you are correct, my friend. All the many evil, right? All the many evils. Grate the cheese, grate the cheese. The cheese is great, grate the cheese. Yeah. Drinking water not being a human right. I mean, seriously. Only someone with way too much money would ever come up with that concept. you know, like our ex-Prime Minister being asked how much is a loaf of bread, loaf of bread, litre of milk, and a litre of petrol. And ScoMo just stands there and goes, well, I don't know. Dude. Say it with me, out of touch. Whoop, almost too much. Something powdered milk for women overseas that only have access to dirty water. Actually, the one that got them in trouble with that one was they put on the labeling, and this was meant to ship to Africa. They put on the labeling because breast milk isn't enough. Literally, they put that on there. And there was a mix-up in shipping, and a pallet of it also got shipped to the United States. And a concerned mother got her hands on it and actually read the tin and read that, and massive civil lawsuit. And part of Nestle's defense was, oh, that was meant to go to Africa. That wasn't meant to go to America. Jesus. That's your defense. Okay. And therefore babies get sicker and sicker. Well, you know, it's one way to control the population, right? But someone clip that and take it out of context. And that is all that's left of that block. Snacking. I'm snacking on the ingredients. All right. I'll get to that. I'll get to your post in just a sec, Rach. I just want to clean this board up. This is a naughty piece of cheese. And shall be punished. I mean, even if it were to say when breast milk isn't enough, that's very upsetting. Yeah. My sister fell deep in postnatal depression hole because she couldn't produce enough milk to feed my chonk of a nephew. Sorry, P&D is a serious thing. I'm laughing at chonk of a nephew. And she felt like she wasn't able to do the one thing she was supposed to be able to. I can only imagine, Rach, what that would be like for a woman. Yeah. And thankfully, that's never something I'm going to have to deal with. So, yeah. It must be horrible. That's all I can say to that, is it must be freaking horrible. And for any woman that is going through it, you have my sympathy. No. Rach, the sound effects are the best. Rach, here's a chomp. He's 2 now and absolutely the most hilarious kid. He's just discovered he likes to hold onto his butt cheeks, so he keeps sticking his hand down his pants. Well, you know, wait until he finds the other side. One naughty cheese. All right. So, mozzarella. Doing the mozzarella next. Right. I had breast cancer pre-20 and a mastectomy, so breastfeeding is not something I'll ever be able to do. Yeah. But, okay, without trying to be nasty or anything, that's a whole different scenario. I mean, you had evil being cancer, and that's horrid. But even at that point, you can go, well, stupid cancer did this and I can't do that. Whereas someone who theoretically has nothing wrong with them and still can't do it, that the level of ouch that would go along with that would be greater in my I would imagine it would be greater. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So now we grate up the mozzarella. So, however, I'm not sure if this mozzarella is going to be any good, so I should check. Stop it, Wardham. Stop it. Right, she just stands there and holds onto his butt while he's watching TV or whatever. Goober. He's a goober. Total goober. Yeah, Rach is a tough cookie. Oh. This cheese. Can't stop it. Can't help it. It's not my fault. Don't shame me. Don't cheese shame me. Rach, oh, but not for the breast is best lot. They absolutely do not account for people like me. They just bulldoze ahead with their nonsense. There are pros and cons to that argument. And depending on who you ask, one that I'm not allowed to have an opinion on. There are, as I understand it, there are benefits for the youngling to breastfeed. They are finding out more and more about how those benefits can be passed on without necessarily having to breastfeed. That said, last I checked, according to the World Health Organization, more women should do more of it. That's their opinion, not mine. But, well, I'll say, all right, Kiki, I'll say hello to May, but Akira's been a naughty puppy. So, hello, May. How you doing? Who's a good pupper? So yeah, with it being a boy and something that I'm never going to face, I tend to do a little bit of research so that I know what's going on to a point, and then leave it to those who want to argue the case. Because it is a very gendered issue, which these days I'm best staying out of. Rich, opinions are fine, every arsehole has one. It's just when people try to enforce those opinions as if they're rules. See? Yes. And no. Because that goes to the whole argument of, you know, covering up breastfeeding in public. Personally, I'm on the side of pop your boob out and feed your child, for the love of God. If your child needs feeding, stop it screaming and feed it. Please. But there are people who believe that, you know, it should be covered up and enforced trying to cover it up, and then there are people that don't want to cover it up and are trying to enforce not covering it up. And technically they're both opinions, whether you do it in public or not. But again, not one I'm in the middle of. Like I said, I am pro breastfeeding in public if that is your choice to do so. If it is your choice not to do that, I will support that too, because it's your choice. That's my bottom line on that stuff. Whatever you choose is what you choose. Hey, Rage Court Houndoom. Nice! Boobs are great. Well, everyone loves boobs. I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, most of the gay men I know like boobs. Because boobs! I'm a proportion guy, Kiki, to be honest. You know, Sir Mix-a-Lot, absolutely. However, proportion. You know, small boobs, small butt, big boobs, big butt, you know, proportion. You know, gigantic boobs, no butt, I find weird and odd. Now I've got cheese in my beard. Oh. But that's a me thing. I'm a proportion guy. So, first half a kilo of mozzarella down. We've had this chat. Yeah, absolutely. You and I have. I'm now putting it out there in the public domain. I'm just, oh. Wish there was smell-o-vision, I really do. Mind you, as soon as they invent smell-o-vision, you know someone's going to abuse it. They're just going to fart into a microphone. Call it ASMR. Yeah. Mozzarella tried to escape. Escape. That's strange, it's spelled just like the word escape. So, I'm not going to grate all of this amount of Parmesan. I am going to slice some of it up. And right at the end of the cooking process, just lay on some thin slices of mozzarella on the top. just to melt and be that extra bit of gooey on top. So just going to cut a few really thin pieces, see? And then they just lay on top. And then people can fight over who gets the gooey mozzarella giant bit. The rest of it is going in the bechamel. So that's why I'm actually doing all this grating now, is because when we make the bechamel, all of this cheese goes into the bechamel. Gooey. Right? Gooey, gooey goodness. So, there you go. So we'll end up just layering that over the lasagna. No problem. It's cheese, I can't stop eating it. Ow. Trying to grate my finger off. Because, you know, that's a thing to do, right? Right, apparently we're having pasta for dinner at work tonight. That's what the menu said. I have no idea what we... Okay. So just, you know, dry pasta. I'm like, is it on toast? Is it with meatballs? Give me something here. Right? My shoulder's gone. Stupid shoulder. Do you really need all your fingers though? Like, really? I'm not going to tempt the gods, so yes, I really do need all my fingers. I have tempted the gods before, and never to anything but detriment. So I try not to do it anymore. Don't tempt the gods or you may end up in Calvary. I think I've been to Calvary. I don't know, I've been to so many bloody hospitals over the years. From challenging the gods. Oh, not finished with the grater. You see the mess I'm walking around in right now. Oopsies. Just using up a plate. Should have kept the plastic from the mozzarella and put that in the plastic, then I wouldn't use a plate. But ta-da! I don't know which cooking show it was on, but I was watching one, and they sort of said, grab the camera and they're like, check this out. And they pan down onto the floor and there's shit everywhere. I'm like, yep. Right. A new cook is a hoot. They make really yummy stuff and then realize they're required to provide meat, carb, and 3 colored vegetables. So we have things like carbonara with prawns and a side of broccoli and corn. Gigi, with me as your nurse, which is your favorite and least favorite? What? Oh. Which is my favorite and least favorite hospital? My least favorite is all of them. I don't like hospitals. I don't like going to hospital. I don't like being in hospital. I find it odd when I am in hospital and people visit me. It's like, why would you come? I'm just sick as a dog. Why would you want to come and see me right now? Yeah, not a fan. Rach, I just read that as cavalry and thought it was some kind of inside army joke. Oh, cavalry. Just an inside SA joke. Yes, Calvary Hospital is a hospital in Adelaide. I may or may not have been there. Right, now that we have an absolute shed ton of cheese, I had a medium-sized pan. Where did my medium-sized pan go? Alright, looks like we're doing it in a bigger one. Alright, well, we got, in 15 minutes, that'll have had the minimum hour of simmering. So, that is just a minimum. We remember this. I'll grate this straight in, I think. Now, proper Parmesan, that has got, this is strong, right? Whereas your tasty cheese, you know, it's got a nice, you know, crisp flavour. It's okay. You know, it's a good generic flavour of cheese. It's smooth. It doesn't really crash into your palate. So you can use as much of that as you want. You're still going to get a reasonably mild flavour. The mozzarella, it's more texture than actual flavour. Again, there is that little bit of flavour to it, nice and mellow. Not as much as there is in the tasty cheese. So the tasty does tend to overpower the flavour of the mozzarella. But it's a nice texture and it gives you the gooey-ness. So that's nice. Parmesan, on the other hand, this is some strong cheese. Right? It's a hard cheese for a start. So, what chunk? So, it doesn't really bend, it just snaps. because it's a hard cheese. Hey, I caught slack off. Oh, wait. Slack. However, you eat this, and there is tang. There's a pungent aroma to it. There is tang to it. And a little bit of this goes a long way, flavor-wise. So nice. So, whereas we're using half a kilo of tasty cheese, nearly a kilo of mozzarella, probably only need maybe 100 grams of parmesan to go in. Now, this is not that magic powder crap. This is proper. So there is a whole heap of flavor to this. You can only afford the magic powdered crap, use the magic powdered crap. But you probably have to use more of it. Right, so I can't find my medium pan, so we're going to use this one to make the white sauce. Well, the bechamel that turns into a cheese sauce. Basically. Alright, put that away. Put that away. Doing a little bit of cleanup in my prep area. Breaking everything. Right, so white sauce. So we're going to make, how much will we make? I think we'll double that. So we're going to make a double recipe. Oops. Hey. I've messed with my drawers. Alright, so get this going. There. Ah. No, I have turned the right one on. I thought for a sec, no. And now it's magically alight. Okay. So we want 4 tablespoons of butter. Which is probably going to be this whole thing. That's 1. Two. 3. 4 tablespoons of butter. We have a YouTube. We're doing a big one. Big bechamel. 4 tablespoons of flour in a minute. kicking my ass. Kicking my ass all over the shop. Alright, so that's melting nicely. However, I need a short break. I'm going to take that off the heat. And I'll be back. And we're back. Put the butter back on the melty tray. So, for the flour, we are using the Natural Baking Co. plain flour. It's mid-protein, but it's unbleached. It's unbleached, it's all-purpose, but you can see that's a little slightly duller white, but then down. Now, here's the part where we have to pay attention. And pay attention to not chat, but pay attention to the white sauce. So, now, this basically says to I've read recipes where doing this part of the sauce, we're eventually going to add a heap of milk. We're using the Tweed Vale reduced fat, pasteurized but not homogenized milk. So this basically says, I've read recipes where it says you can put the milk in cool, you can put the milk in hot. I tend to put it in cold and with no particular side effects. So we are going to get the whisk. Now we put in 4 tablespoons of flour. Half. 1. I tend to just give it a little bit of a stir as we put the flour in. There's no particular reason to. Other than I find that it helps keep it smooth. That was 3. Sure, 3. And 4. Do that in a sec. Big clump. Where do I put it? There it is. So you can see on this, it's starting to dry out a little bit around the edges. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir. And this is something, you know, you just keep an eye on. You give it a little bit of a stir every now and then. You know, throw some sauce up on the tiles behind it. So yeah, as it reduces, aka evaporates, you can see that that's getting nice and thick there now. You can top it up if you really feel the need. You can top it up. So, what we're doing here is we're basically, now that we've got the butter melted, we've got the flour in, you stir it, this is the part where you've got to pay attention. He says, speaking to his stream, but this is the constant stirring bit, okay? So this is the part where you can mess it up. So as the flour thickens, you'll see it will get thicker and thicker and thicker. There's the alarm. So that means this has been on the simmer for an hour, which is the minimum. You can leave it simmering all day if you really want. If you've got a good pan, you can, which I have, so I can. But yeah, just leave it simmering, let it do its thing. The more it simmers, the more it infuses. But you've just got to be aware that if you are going to leave it for a lot longer, then you probably will have to top it up with something. At this point, topping it up with water is perfectly fine because that's all that's come off. That's what's happening, is that the water's turned into steam, the steam's come off, it's reduced. So adding a little bit more water into it isn't actually going to do anything to the flavour. It's just going to keep it fluid. Don't want it burning to the bottom of the pan. That's part of the reason why we're constantly stirring this water. It's also because if you let this go even anywhere remotely uneven in the cooking, it tends to clump up. So now this pot that I'm using it is reasonably thick based, but it's this one tends to, you have to pay a bit more attention to it, especially if you're doing something so thin. I mean, this is what, maybe 2-3 mil deep on the bottom of the pan, so that's why I'm just moving it around the element a little bit, because I've got it on a smaller element, and so it's heating up progressively. Stirring, keep it nice and smooth. Yeah. Yep. And we're just waiting for it to thicken up. So you can see if I leave that go, you can see that right over the burner, it's bubbling a lot. So we want to keep this moving. Probably could have heated it up over a lower heat to begin with, just to spread that heat through the bottom of the pan a bit better. But I didn't. Now, if you're not as ambidextrous as some people, myself included, before you start this, you probably want to measure out however much milk you're going to put in and have it in a separate bowl. I'm going to pour into a measuring cup and then pour it into here because I can. But not everyone can. So having it pre-prepared where you can just pick up the bowl, pour it all in, not have that measurement phase already done, is usually a good idea. That is starting to bubble nicely. Getting a good all-over bubble. That's right, I was going to make myself a coffee again. I need more coffee! Yeah, buddy, thicken up. Now another way to do this is watch the colour. this starts to go, like, at the moment it's a nice gold colour. You can see it's a nice golden colour. If it starts going brown, you've done this bit for too long. Doesn't matter, but if it starts going brown, just shove the milk in at that point, just go. Milk, 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 go, go, go. But actually, when I was first trying to figure out where this goes to before you put the milk in, I did it and it was literally a paste. I'd done it down to where it was just fully a paste. When I put the milk in, it just went boom and was instantly white sauce. I'm like, okay, well, got away with that. Like you can see, we've used bugger all ingredients. So if you mess up at this point, who cares? Start again. I mean, you try not to, but we all mess up from time to time. So this sauce, you can use that for anything. Right, at this point you can put that in pasta, you can use it as a bog, you can use whatever, right? You don't necessarily have to use that sauce just for lasagna. You know, portion it out, mix in some spaghetti, portion it out, put it in the freezer, take it to work as lunch. Quick and easy. Wow, not quick, but easy. Sometimes that's the thing, right? Sometimes eating healthy is like this. I'm spending a few hours in the kitchen today. I'm going to do this. We're going to get a shed ton of serves out of it. Put it in the freezer. Cut it up into serves. Put it in the freezer. Take it out. Eat it. You know? Got your veg. Got your meat. Got your cheese. Got one of everything. Really. Get a nice bit of crusty bread on the side. I got you for our basic food groups: beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard. Right, it's getting a nice bubble to it. I should probably put the milk in. I've got a little full on that one. All right, we're back. It seems it was an OBS problem. Well, actually, when I shut down OBS and then tried to open it up again, it said that OBS was still running and running and running. So OBS had obviously crapped out. And now we're back. It's probably because I haven't done the OBS update on this computer. I've done it on the big all singing all dancing one, but I haven't done it on this one. So, sorry about that. Go white sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Crash, bang, and boom. Right, get the lasagna dish out while we can. Yeah, right. Look, it's OBS is free software, so I don't think they would do the Apple thing of making it not work anymore, so you go buy a new one, because we're not buying a new one. But it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, that part of the update is that it was glitching, so. Yeah, Rach, the tech parts list can be an expensive. Yes, it can be an expensive list. Now, you might be looking at this and going, there is not a lot of wood. See, I can't even tilt it far enough to show you the fluid in it. But don't forget, we're putting nearly 2 kilos of cheese in. I'll get there piece by piece by piece. Yeah, right, absolutely. Okay, so we'll try this once more. I think I figured it out though. Windows needs an update. Now, Windows messing with everything I've got, so it gets its update. Yeah, that is absolutely happening. I have to get used to Windows updates again. I know, right? So, all right. So while we're going. So the sauce is thickening. Once this is thickened, we'll throw in all the cheese, stir it up until it all becomes one amalgamous thing. Then we will start in the dish. We'll start layering sauce, white sauce, pasta sheet sauce, white short pasta, and sprinkling of some of the grated mozzarella. I'm not going to put it all in the white sauce. You can. Right, that's starting to thicken up nicely. You can see, nice white sauce. There you go. And then you stick it, you preheat your oven to 180 degrees, stick it in the oven, and leave it for, well, first you cook it covered for 20 minutes. Now, there's a trick that I use for that. When I cover it, obviously you cover it in foil, but you'll all recognize them from when you get pizza, right? So after I finish the lasagna, for that first bit of cooking while it's covered, I put in, put those in so the tinfoil goes over the top and it doesn't stick to all the yummy, yummy ingredients that you've got in the top of the lasagna. In the top of your lasagna. I was afraid we would load back in to find it had been finished and eaten, and all we see are dirty pans and empty plates. No, I'll probably end up taking some photos because we'll get as far in through this, getting it into the oven as we can. Hopefully OBS holds out, you know, can hold out against the mighty evil Windows. Okay, so you can see that's getting quite thick. Here's me worrying. I was worried when I was putting this together. I was worried that it was actually an hour on simmer was going to be too long and we'd run out of things to do. So I've turned the heat down a bit just to let it go. And now we're going to start adding the cheese. So take a handful of cheese, throw it in, stir. And you can see, hopefully you can see, it'll start being lumpy. Like obviously as you chuck in a handful of grated cheese, lumps everywhere. So you can see there's lumps and bits and bobs going on everywhere. As you stir it in, the cheese melts and the lumps go away because they're just bits of cheese. When it gets smooth again, you know it's ready to put in the next handful of cheese. Except that bit. Right now I don't have the thumb strength, so I'm just got the death grip on it. Go cheese, go! Go cheese racer, go cheese racer, go cheese racer, go! Quality control is an ongoing process. Om nom 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 nom. Right? Eep, 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 eep. Stop it. Stop your eepy noises. I'm all paranoid. I keep looking up and it's like, we still streaming? Are we still streaming? This one's going to be a fun one to edit. Cheesy, cheesy goodness. So what's happening this weekend? Mackie mentioned a big SCA event. Yes, there is. You're almost right there, Warden. It's not crowning a new Baron, it's crowning a new King and Queen. Well, deciding who the next King and Queen are going to be. So they will be the Royal Prince and Princess. So it is the tournament to decide who's next, basically. Whoops. about to break this whisk. Look at that, just that little bit of mozzarella in there. And that has turned it into a gooey mess. Alright. Turning that off. We're still going. Sorry, when I okay. Well, yeah. So we are using dried pasta sheets. So I'm going to add just a little bit of extra fluid back into this and mix it in just so that whoops, and throw it all over the place, you know, just to get it back to a point where so I've probably put in about half a cup of water. I'm just going to mix that in because we are using dried pasta sheets, so I want there to be plenty of fluid to get into that pasta. I have done the make my own pasta sheet thing. Didn't this time. We're still green, we're still green. All right. Sorry, when AFK had an anxiety attack. Well, that sucks. Rach, admittedly, I easily lose track of all the bits and pieces and processes and what not, but now I know Mackie and Ulrich and Upright love it, so that makes me happy. Yeah, true. All of that. That's going to make life interesting. Okay. Still calming down from it. You'll be fine. So what set you off, Kiki? If you want to talk about it. And we're back again. All right, so we're just going to build the pasta now. We're going to build this. Going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees. Then we're going to cook it. And we're back. It's funny that chat keeps working. But OBS doesn't. And we're back. Gooey gooiness. Lets you know the internet's still working. Well, yes. Kinda. Chatterboxes. Right? I have offline chats with lots of my streamer mates. That's what the Discord's there for. Woohoo! Come on. Now you might be thinking, that tray's getting really full. And it is. But we've usually got enough here to make 2 lots of this. And I have another lasagna pan. So, mwahaha. Excellent. Oh, broke it. Rach, now I'm singing the Pink Panther theme, but with the lump, the lump, the lump, the lump, the lump. The lump, 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 the lump. Uh-oh, that's starting to cool down a bit. Gonna have to go faster. First one done. Oops. Time to get messy. Time to get messy. Lapland? The Ballad of Warden's Kitty. Right? Upright, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Lasagna. Okay, so I got the shout out thing in the wrong spot. It appears. Upright is one of the lucky ones. He's had this lasagna. We're still streaming? Yay! It's not been a good day for that, has it? Uh-oh. Right, what do we got? Oh, she Kev, high upright. We are well upright. There's the dancing Space Marine song. No. No, Autumn, just no. Rach, I'm the sleepy and I don't want to go to work, but at least they're paying me a ton today. Yay! Well, yay for getting paid a ton, absolutely. Right, we're almost done. Man. Alright. And the last little ingredient. Forgot about that. That was almost fun. Alright, so now all we've got left to do is cover it and put it in the oven for a little bit. Alright. So, covering. Pizza tables. Two per lasagna. And basically it doesn't have a lot left because it was right at the end. So if we throw in, don't know what that's got on it, bit of dust. Yep, bit of dust, it'll be fine. So we throw them on like that, and then we cover it with the foil. Because that stops the foil sticking to all the cheese. Wholesome Santa cooking streak. Sure, why not? So is it dinner party or just for you and the missus? Both. So tonight we're having a social sit around the fire, but we're also going to be cooking, literally cooking some stone. We're going to be cooking some rocks, some iron rocks, for a smelt. So if people would like to partake in the lasagna, they are more than welcome to come and do so. Well, they're more than welcome to do so around the fire. And then there are, if people want to order pizza or do whatever, they can do that too. Normally, I would cook this just for us. This is one of those meals that we will, once it's done, we'll cut it up, we'll put it into the freezer, and we will just have it for however long we have it. So, spilled some meat, can't let it go to waste. So, we've just chucked that into a 180-degree oven, and we are going to leave it in there for 20 minutes. Going to leave it in there for 20 minutes covered, and then we're going to uncover it, and we're just going to keep cooking it until it's golden brown. Towards the end, probably the last, just as it's starting to get that nice, starting to change that nice color, that's when we'll just quickly add these slices that we did earlier, the mozzarella slices. We'll add them in just before the end. So they melt, but eating hair. They melt, but they don't like lose their form. So they turn into a nice little decoration on top. Nom 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 nom. Ah, God. Okay. Forgot the parmesan. But that's okay. We can put that on later. You can grate that up, put it on fresh at the end. It'll be fine. I got some of that still breaking up a little. Sounds like a fun rock cooking event. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, this time it's not breaking up on my end. I haven't dropped a frame, so I don't know what's doing that. Poor interwebs. So, here's one I prepared earlier. So all of that said, let's oh, wait a minute. No. No, that's fine. All right, so ta-da! We made it. By hook, by crook, we made it. Cook rots, get iron, use iron to make pan, cook food in pan. Cast iron pan, why not? Some of my best stuff is cast iron. So, all right, Rach, here we go. What have we got? We have spoon and tasting bowl. We'll count them. Okay, so two measuring spoons, measuring there. That's 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 dishes. Pots, pans, spoons, like that's down to spoons. 18 dishes, that's it. Plus the 2 in the oven. So 20. 20 dishes to make this meal. Or 20 bits of washing up. I know what I mean. So I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, not completely horrible. So, you know, that's 3. 2 measuring spoons and a thing. That's 3 of them. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So now it's just down to the cleaning up. Do the cleaning up. Oh, what time is it? It's only 1 o'clock. It's only 1 o'clock. Yes. Yes. I still have a heap of work to do for this afternoon, so. We are idiots, and we do cheese, meat, and sauce separately. Well, we did separate cheese. We did the cheese, we did the mozzarella predominantly in the bowl, put a little bit in the white sauce, probably shouldn't have, but did. Did a pot for the cheesy white sauce and a pot for the meat sauce. I don't know how much extra you get. Yeah, my shoulder's being a bastard too, upright. Back to laying down. Do all the cooks and make the tastiest snackies, Mr. Chef Ulrich. Well, we're pretty much done. We've made it. We have made it. We've made it. Yeah, it's just a matter of letting that sit in the oven for, you know, an hour or so, and then it's done. Now, one tip I will have with these, if you can, cook it up in the oven now. Much love, y'all. Much love to you, Upright. Have fun. Take care. With a bit of luck, we'll see you tonight. Round the fire. I've found that if you do this part of the cook, like mozzarella and all, like the slices when you put them on top, then you do, you leave it overnight. You just leave it alone, put it in the fridge, let it cool, put it in the fridge, and then reheat it the next day, and it's just insane levels of more flavorful. So yeah, but either way, you can serve it straight out of the oven. That works. You can let it sit, you can let it rest and do all of that as well. Remember, if you like serving it with wine, serve it with the wine you cooked it with, because you used good wine to cook it with. So yeah, and that's about it. I will, when it comes out of the oven, when it comes out of the oven first time, we'll see how we go. We've got 13 minutes left. So if I can gas bag on for another 13 minutes, we'll see it when it comes first out of the oven. Well, if the stream, Issa wants some, it's her favorite. Okay. Issa wants to sniff everything. She doesn't want to eat it. She just wants to sniff everything. It's odd. But there you go. Yeah, so well, hopefully the stream will last until that comes out of the oven. I have put the slices of mozzarella on when it comes out the first time to get the foil off, and I find it tends to burn. So I put it on towards the end when it's just as it's starting to get that nice little golden sheen to it. Throw that mozzarella on, done. And we're good. So that seems to work for me, doing it that way. So what do we got coming up? So coming up tomorrow we have Curious Kitty, yeah, Wardem. Tomorrow we have Freaky Friday. We'll be playing episode 3 of Lost Alone, and the finale of the story, because there are 3 chapters. We've played the first 2. Time to play the third. Then on Monday we're back for Warframe Monday. Although we'll see. We'll be back for Warframe Monday. For that, a wild Kingler appears. Hello, Kingler. And then back into the regular routine for a little bit. Well, for that week. Oh, no. Okay. No, we're not. Then we go Tuesday, Power Wash Simulator. Thursday will be cooking, because Thursday cookery. And Thermal Thursday, because we're cooking. If you've got a better one, put it in chat or Discord. Fun with Grandma. Yes, that is Lost Alone episode 3, Grandma. Nonna. Yeah. Anyway, that's the horror stream. The Friday after that, though, the 1st, 30th of September, 1st of October, that is going to be the extra long Uber, maybe up to 31 hours of stream for my, we're combining 200 followers and the first year Twitch anniversary. So, yay! There will be ways, we'll probably start it at we'll start it at a 12-hour stream, and then normally, give subs, give follows, biddies, whatever, we'll add to the time, and we will then, if everyone is generous, that insane amount of generous, we will go to up to 31 hours. The game we'll be playing is the original Assassin's Creed. I'm so freaking excited. Short backstory, because yay! Short backstory on that is that the creators of Assassin's Creed, after the first one, broke off, created a new company, started again with Assassin's Creed 2 and Ezio, the Ezio arc. But Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't owned by them anymore because they left it with the company that they broke away from. So Assassin's Creed 1 has never been re-released on consoles beyond the PS3. So, as everyone knows, I recently had to get a new computer because this one was not coping with as much information as I was throwing into it. So, the something dark side. Right, so recently got the new computer, got Steam, and was just bumming around, saw the Assassin's Creed pack, and saw that it had Assassin's Creed 1 in it. And I'm like, oh my god! And I'm so excited because I've... Whoop, there! Nope, stop it. Stop it. Go away. Alright, there we go. Stupid ads. Because we are listening to White Bat Audio on YouTube. So, go check out White Bat Audio. So I'm really excited to play Assassin's Creed 1 again. I played it probably 3 times when I had it on the PS3. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it was never re-released for the 4 or not for the 5 or anything like that. So found it on Steam and oh my god, we can play it on Steam. So we're going to. That's what that'll be. Then so we're doing that. If you can tell, I'm a little bit excited. So, a little bit excited about that. Then back to regular scheduled programming until Saturday the 8th of October, at which time we will be doing the next smelt. Yay! Which is why we're cooking up the ore tonight. Not going to stream that. Just want to sit around a barbecue with mates, chatting, hanging out. And yeah, so we're not gonna stream a fire. Is it wrong that I have a plan for next winter where I'm just going to do a random stream for hours on end? I'm going to set up the computer in front of my fire and just play a fire. That's it, a fire for a few hours. That'll be a stream. It'll be ASMR. So you just hear the fire. That's it. That could be fun. But we're running out of winter, which is another reason why we're doing the smelt, is because soon it's going to go into total fire ban season in Australia because for some reason the politicians believe that that coal is the future. Liberal Party in Australia believes that coal is the future of energy in this country, in the sunburnt country, surrounded by ocean. Uh-huh. So, anyway, I'm not making political statements. Warden, it's now wrong if you have a cushion for the kitties set up in front of it. What? Oh, it's not. Oh, freak. Yes. Well, there is cushion set up in front of our fire for kitties. That's a permanent fixture. Absolutely. And a cat tower. I was going to say, it's now wrong to set up for kitties. I'm like, what the hell, Warden? I was like, not. It was a typo. I'm like, so yeah, that's everything that's coming up in the near future. We've got a couple of minutes left before this comes out of the oven. So I will remind everyone that if you want to come join us, see what's going on after when we're not streaming, come along, head up Discord. And all sorts of stuff you can do in there. You can post your YouTubes, post what you're up to, give feedback on the channel. If you've got ideas for the channel, throw them in there. If you've got ideas for individual streams, if you've got an idea for what you would like to see cooked, throw it in there. I'll see what I can do. All ideas will be given due consideration, unless they're from Upright. All will be given due consideration. We will also, we are on the YouTube. See, I'm old. I can say the YouTube, and it's just because I'm old. So, so go to the YouTube. We have a YouTube, so go there. You can see previous streams. Being a little slack on getting them up at the moment. Honestly, it's mainly because I've been just mainlining One Piece, the anime One Piece. I think I'm up to, I started again a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I'm up to episode 400 plus. But there are 1,000 episodes. So yeah, come join us on Discord. That'd be awesome if you could. Come join us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe when you're on YouTube. They're free, but they really do help out. If you are watching the videos on YouTube, don't forget to like. Hit that little like button. Like. If you're watching here and you've been having fun with us today, again, hit that follow button. That'd be awesome. If you'd like to subscribe, get rid of the ads when I do ads, then that would be awesome. But I know times are tough right now, so the follow is awesome. And really, that's it. It's a great way to support the stream without paying money, is just hit the follow button. Better than calling it the tube. I don't know, Wharton. I don't know. It's the tube. We're on the tube. We're on the tube, dear. Well, they don't make cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube TVs, CRT TVs. So we literally can't be on the tube anymore because the tube TVs don't work. Yes, come join us. We are fun. See, take it from my moderator. Background rage. We are fun. All right. 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. I mean, I could take it out now if I really wanted to. Also, on Discord, you will find the recipes for the cooking streams. I forgot about that. We haven't got the beetroot pickled eggs up yet, but today's I'll be putting up hopefully later today. If not, I'll get that done tomorrow. But the lemon cordial, and the lemon butter, which somewhere in here, which is disappearing fast. Occasionally I do moderating things. Well, we've got an awesome chat, Rage. So apart from the occasional, do you want to be famous crap that pops up, there's not a lot for a moderator to do. And flat out, that's one of the things I love about this community, is that we can literally just sit here and have a good time. And we don't have to moderate idiots, and we don't have to, get people to pull their head in and all that sort of stuff. It's just the community we've got here is just fun. So, you know what? I'm glad that my moderators just get to hang out. There it is. Oop. I don't know what I did there. Rach, I found out that close to resub time, I can look at my monthly stats, which will tell me how, which will tell me how long I spent in this channel this month. Well, you can see overall, all you do is hit your points. Oh, I'm high gold. Yay. I've only done 458.75 hours in my channel. Oh, Jesus, Rach. Nice, 428. Nice. I've got to find a way to spend all those dollary dues. I've got to figure that out. So much to do. Anyway, right. So we're going to take these out. We're going to uncover them. Oh, crunchy. That's looking better. Come on, squash down into the fluid. Ow! Hot! Who knew? There you go. Yes, squishing those, it's fairly soft already, but I just want to get those corners into a little bit more fluid before I put it back in the oven. Right. Ta-da! Now I begin the process of cleaning up the kitchen. Oh, that's another thing that I wanted to just quickly, while we're talking about cooking, right? I did a few dishes before we started, and I started with a clean kitchen. And I personally am not a fan of cooking in a dirty kitchen. I find I don't enjoy cooking anywhere near as much when I'm doing it in a dirty kitchen. Another thing, just quickly, is when you use those pizza tables, you can use this again now because it's not covered in cheese and crap and stuff. So you can actually use that foil again for something else. Not worry about it. So, here we go. Whoop, they're chucking on the list. I probably won't use them while I seemingly collect channel points and never use them. Right, so we're going to have to get something that you like spending channel points on, right? Challenge accepted. Wardham. Oh, Wardham's a copper. No, nice little copper. On 34.33 hours. Nice. So for those interested, the system, the copper, foundation copper, iron, foundation copper, iron, jade, true gold, no, low gold, high gold, true gold, the system as you go up through ranks. It's based on a series of books called Cradle by Will White. So in case anyone was wondering. Wait, why are you doing scroll funny? Stop scrolling funny. Right. So we'll wait for this, we'll see if Rach gets the Stampler. And then I think we'll call this a stream before my OBS dies again. So, apologies for that. Oh, rigged. Rigged. No one caught it. Rigged. And also, for those who are interested, we turn this off. Thanks for the stream. No worries, Rach. That's the camera that you see the oven on. That's just hanging off of the edge of the exhaust fan, which I can turn off. So yeah, for those that were, I think it was Kiki was asking about it, but someone was asking about it, and that's where I set up the camera to do the stovetop. And so you can see the camera's here, and then the exhaust fan's here. So I have the exhaust fan running pretty much all the time, and that stops the camera fogging up. So there you go, a little bit of behind the scenes. Shouldn't have. No, it's still, oh God. No, just let me finish the stream. It'll be 3 minutes, come on. All right, so that's everything done. Hopefully I will see everyone tomorrow for 10 o'clock start again to do episode 3 of Lost Alone. If you don't know when that is, scroll down, have a look at the about, or have a look in the things at the schedule, and that will tell you when I'm starting wherever you live. And Warden is refreshing. Refresh. So we'll just let Warden refresh before it knock off. So yes, so hopefully we'll see everyone tomorrow, and I'll see you after eggs. Eggies are good, Rach. So, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, that was the stream. Have fun, take care, bye!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Don't forget to check the description for any links I may have left there. If you like the video, please press like or subscribe to my channel. Next video in the series is up here. Until then, stay safe, have fun.